Testing, testing, 1 2 1 2. I'm assuming things are good. Testing, testing, 1 2 1 2. Assuming things are good. Yeah, you are VIP 24. You're good. You're welcome. I think the visuals are just looking weird right now because I don't know what's going on with bitrate right now. Changing servers doesn't work. I checked if there's anything serious going on with Twitch. I think they've been having issues yesterday. Not even the internet service provider can say anything. Usually it would have a downtime at like 10:40 p.m. to midnight Eastern time, but I don't know what's going on right now last I checked. So yeah, pardon the weird pixelated visuals if that's been happening with anybody going on. Just make sure we bring something into focus though, such as this cream cheese. There we go. So let's make sure that something is in focus here. Okay. We got stuff in focus right now. I would hope something's in focus. Sometimes this camera just has a hard time focusing, but one of these days we'll have like a legitimate setup. So apparently today is Pi Day, and I did way too much research into this. And how is our stream raiders looking, by the way? Seems like we've got a bunch of troops being placed, and we're about to start that real soon. That's also one of the new commands there with the stream raiders. That's just a game that all of y'all can participate in. It's also a game that a lot of streamers have been putting on their channels, so I was like, why not? So the first thing we're going to be doing is I'm going to be trying a butterscotch pie inspired recipe. It's more like a butterscotch tart, but the idea is still there. And so what I did first is make my own crust, which I've loosely followed based on Sorted Foods recipes, except I cut the portions by a half. So this has been chilling since last night. Still maintains its texture and everything. It helps to maintain its shape too. Because cold butter recipes do help when you're baking them because, well, the temperature is just right after you bake them properly. So that's our first order of business because the second recipe is actually going to be a little bit quicker. And this thing actually needs time to bake. So Though, they're normally for a recipe like this, with like a tart, I would normally do the procedure of like baking this first if I was doing a non-baking filling. But for this one, per buttermilk pie recipe standards, we have to bake the crust with the filling because it's a custard we're making. So I'm gonna let this sit on the countertop for a little bit as we go ahead and make our filling. Actually, of course, we're gonna need our eggs for this one. The original recipe was like based off a very like regular pie recipe. For this one, we're just gonna be using 2 eggs, but we're just gonna be using 1 whole egg and 1 yolk because we're making like a custard base in a sense. Let me also check out our stream raiders to see if we're ready. Oh, looks like we're ready to begin. Let me actually quiet down the music for a little bit so we can go ahead and get ready for stream raiders real quick. Yep, we won. We won. Thank you, 24, for your troopers. I definitely appreciate that. So, the next battle is going to begin in 30 minutes. That was quite fun. That was a little introduction. And welcome, Ralphus. You just walked in on me trying to remember what the heck my measurements were for Pi Day today. But of course. Hey, what's up, Tara? Yeah, today is Pi Day, so we're gonna be doing I guess, a butterscotch. I keep on mixing up buttermilk and butterscotch. Like, a buttermilk pie inspired thing. We're gonna be making like a buttermilk tart. So we're currently letting we're using the toaster oven for this right now because that would do just fine. So this will be like taking a long time to bake, which is why I'm doing this recipe first. So it's gonna be taking its sweet time to bake, and then this is also like a pre-made crust, like loosely based on sorted recipes. Okay, so in the meantime, I also made my own buttermilk substitute concoction with like half and half and a bit of lemon concentrate. So I think it will suffice for now. And I basically took like the original recipe and divided everything in half, so I'm trying to remember what my calculations were. Greetings from Twitch DC. Oh, hello from Twitch New York. And you just joined because you wanted to see what's up with the, I mean, I guess it varies because there's people who are streaming from around the Big Apple and there's people who are in Long Island, and then there's also people in upstate. I'm like in the upstate territory, even though like a lot of people are pretty territorial about like where they are from and whatnot. Let me see if this if it will focus on the coconut oil actually. I hope it does. Yeah. The farther it is, the better. So yeah, if the visuals are looking pixely right now, it's really out of my control. I wish I could fix that, but it's literally what is it? It's literally just out of my control. Okay, so I think we should be able to mix everything in this bowl just fine. So to this, I'm going to add probably about, I'll do 3/4 cup of sugar. Yo, Curry, thank you so much for the sub. I appreciate it. You saw a rat? What are you talking about? The only rat in the house is just me. I'm born in the year of the rat, so... I appreciate it, Curry. Thank you for the sub. Enjoy your sub benefits and everything, and welcome to Pi Day. How are you doing? How was your evening? Did you sleep well? Alright, so I'm going to be measuring out like about 3/4 cups of sugar.
Hi, how are you?
Of course, everybody loves using brown sugar, Asians included. But essentially speaking, brown sugar is pretty much just white sugar with molasses on top. Molasses just gives like an extra depth of a rustic element, you know? So I'm going to be adding some. That's what I meant. Back to no sleep weekends, I know, right? I just realized your name has remix in it. That's pretty cool. Do you make music? Yeah, remix. That's my. You're talking to my bot channel. Yeah, I'm doing Stream Raiders for the first time. It's a first day to set up and words on stream too. I'm going to believe that I have enough sugar in this bowl. Okay, and so even though the majority of the custard is just like liquid based, we do have to like make sure we have our sifted in ingredients as well. So we make sure we get 1 egg in here, and then we can also get like 1 egg and 1 egg yolk. We can save the yellow, the yellow, the white. The white can be used for like other things. You could use it for frying. Actually, egg whites are pretty good for frying, especially if you want to like get like I think Burger King style fries. Those are pretty good to use your egg whites in. Shrimp toast is also another good recipe to use egg whites in. You can also make like an egg white omelet if you're pretty normie. Also, pardon if the visuals are like looking really weird right now. It's literally out of my control. Even if Twitch says, "Oh no, it looks terrible." On any other day of a cooking stream, it would not look like this, though, I swear. I do want to make music again, but there's a company I'm currently growing at the moment. Oh, okay, what kind of company is it? Time to join my pose, too. Redeem 100 for egg in the head. Oh my god, that's a waste of... You know how much of a waste of an egg this is? To do that? A really handy tool to have is an egg separator. I mean, the one other rustic way you can like separate your egg yolk from the white is to just let the white go through your fingers. But if you're not good at that, then a separator helps to do it so too. So. As with a lot of baking dairy products, you do want to make sure they're room temperature so that way they're easier to work with. And it mixes in a heck of a lot better when everything's like room temperature. Okay, so we got like a majority of the yolk through. We just need to get this yellow. It looks like snot. I know. I know it looks like snot. I apologize about that, folks, but you do want to save the whites, though. The whites are still amazing for, like, other purposes. Alright, so that's one yellow in there. And then we're going to be using this egg later for the second recipe, so we're putting that aside for now. We're also going to put the white aside. Then we could just, the other thing that we need to do is add in, of course, for a typical buttermilk pie, well, this is all the butter I got left, so the next best substitute is coconut oil. Coconut oil is actually a pretty amazing substitute for butter. It's saturated fat, pretty vegan as well, like butter, but the main issue is that the water content between this thing versus this thing is greatly different. So to make up for the lack of water content, you add in a little bit more liquid components with your coconut oil. It's called an entertainment and pop culture website called Lunch Pop's Publications. Oh my god. I just had lunch, funny enough. Last time I tricked a streamer to hydrate by doing that me thing. How are we doing on the Stream Raiders thing? Oh, we got like 20 minutes left-ish. You know, today's my first day of Stream Raiders, too. I have to say it was pretty fun. Alright, so for this, we're going to be doing... Thank you, grab another. We're going to melt some coconut oil, about like 4 cups of coconut oil, with some butter to hopefully at least give it like some extra, as much as I hate saying the word, moisture content. Because I know plenty of people would be cringing like, ooh, moist, that's a disgusting word. But in cooking, it's like, how else could you like replace that word? Like, even the kitchen professionals would say that word. I feel like I'm gonna need something else to spoon that. Because, like, if you leave this, like, coconut oil at room temperature, it becomes, like, solid like butter, so... It's kind of also why it's a good substitute, but at the same time, it can be a bit cumbersome to work with. I mean, just about, like, a 1/4 cup should be good. After all, we're melting this with some butter, so this should really be good. Oh, anyway, Remix, do you like to cook? Do you like to make food? And when was the last time you actually made food, Curry, or anybody who's around? Technically, I was originally going to do another pie day recipe, but I'm still trying to finalize the details of it. So we're going to be, and so just like Genshin Impact's like latest part of its latest patch, it's going to be pushed back to whenever I deem it necessary for me to do the last pie-related recipe. It's going to be a savory one, too. So the ones we're doing today are, like, the sweet ones. I kind of have a sweet tooth, so that's why I'm, like, doing the recipes that I'm doing today. And then probably on another Sunday or, like, another day, we'll be doing the savory recipe, which might take me a little bit more muscle, time, and effort. and probably use the oven for that. Maybe. I think it might be an oven recipe. Maybe one of these days I'll actually like do like YouTube segments of like these recipes I've done on Twitch to like give people the more like in a nutshell version of what I'm doing. Sweet tooth, or you just want to be sugar town? Oh my god, Curry, no. No, you are the one who is the daddy. Honestly, I think like melting these together would make like a really amazing combination. Because even if this is like a little bit like of butter, like this is the amount you would put on a pancake or waffle, I would hope that the moisture content would return. We're just gonna drag in the trusty struggle whisk. That's right, the fork, the typical fork or chopstick, and just mix what we have so far, because when you're working with sugar, a lot of bakers tend to like mix their... Well, with eggs it's kind of tricky, I would say. Sometimes there are cases where you don't... Sometimes there are cases where you don't add in the eggs right away. There are cases where you add in the eggs last, because when you whip eggs, you're adding air into it. I'm trying my best to just fold the sugar and the egg together right now, because the process I'm kind of like trying to emulate is like creaming. Because when you're mixing sugar and egg together, no, it's more like sugar and butter. So the butter component in sugar is like the creaming process, which is like a fundamental step in like baking, where you're combining portions of ingredients together. Ever since August, I finally got off and started cooking more. Around October, I was let go and I was able to cook. Oh, dude, I'm sorry to hear that. Yeah, a lot of people have been let go. You're not alone, at least. Look at this vortex we got right here. This is going to be quite interesting. Alright, so we got our melted butter and our melted coconut oil. Let's combine, put that in with the egg. Get that emulsified a little bit. It's going to be a very interesting colored dessert, actually. But it should actually be... The flavor profile should still be decent, actually. It should honestly resemble like that, like the flavor profile, I guess, a pecan. How do you guys pronounce it? Pie? So like it's some kind of caramel note to it, by the least of it. Of course, when you're done using something, just put them away when you can. Isn't it cold there and you're still wearing shorts and shirts? It's not too cold right now. Oh my god, curry. So from Thanksgiving to today, I've made homemade hummus, peanut butter fudge. Ooh. Korean roasted pork. How'd you do that? And others. Oh, so you could start the battle. We have enough to win this one? Let's see. Let's see how we're doing. Oh yeah, we have a new sound for the battle command, too. Alright, let me fix the focus of the camera and then we'll shift things right over to the battle scene. We should be good for, like, this one, then. Alright. Actually, let me just remove this plastic wrap. For the buttermilk. Alright, let me switch things right over to the battle scene real quick. Alright, thank you folks for aiding me on that fight. I'm thinking this one will be like a tricky one next. Gotta love what the Nintendo Switch is built like that. Okay, I think this is like well constituted enough. So to this, I'm going to be adding the buttermilk portion. Yeah, it's kind of like a very glossy looking caramel. One, two. It's like about 10 tablespoons per my recalculated measurements. And so we're gonna mix this in. Kind of looks like a what is it? It's like you're mixing, like you're having your barista mix a very special drink for you in here, even though the color of my camera doesn't accurately show it properly. Now I know it looks a little bit weird, but I think what matters the most is not just the rustic presentation of it overall, but also the taste. So. How's my camera doing? I think my camera's doing okay. Alright, so we're gonna add in about 5 more tablespoons. Hey, do we have visual, folks? Are we alive? Are we up and running? I don't want to move ahead without us, like... Can someone confirm if we're up and running? Because I literally have no idea how we're doing right now. I'm gonna go and grab the rest of the ingredients in the meantime. Alright, in any case, if we do have visual, I think we're just gonna add in a splash of vanilla. It doesn't hurt to always add in a splash. Also, it's a pretty good tip. When you have like the cap of a vanilla extract bottle, just use it for like the teaspoon. It always helps. Saves you from having to wash a teaspoon too. Alright, then to this, as with any buttermilk, looks like we got an advertisement. As with any buttermilk pie mixture, custard thing you're making, gotta add a little bit of nutmeg, because that's typical in every buttermilk pie recipe. I'm also gonna add in a tiny bit of cinnamon too. Guessing we're in focus and stuff again? Anyways. As I was saying, as I was trying to like adding cinnamon into the mixture before I get DC'd again, I just like to add like I just like to pair cinnamon and nutmeg together for like an extra earthy note and stuff. Before I also forget though, actually, I managed to get some zest here. This is some zest I shredded. Yeah, no problem, Curry. Let me also go ahead and bid you a farewell real quick. I appreciate the lurk and the stream Raiders assistance.
Goodbye, goodbye, good friends, goodbye. 'Cause now it's time to go. But hey, I say, well, that's okay.
We'll be waiting for you to come and play. To come and play. To come and play. Bye now.
But yeah, no problem, Remix. If you could drop a lurk, that would be appreciated. If you want to catch me streaming again, besides cooking, you can always drop me the follow too. I would always appreciate that. And just in case you forget. But otherwise, I'll be around in the streamers Discord and the Stream NYC team Discord for sure. So yeah, I'll probably be seeing you around there. If I don't see you around on Twitch, I'll be seeing you around on wherever, whenever. All right, so we got some like lemon zest here, and we got some lemon concentrate as well to give that extra acidic zing. What I can say for sure is that when you're grating a citrus fruit, grating citrus fruit is really good for getting the skin down. It gives a nice floral, fresh note. But you have to be careful though. You don't want to actually shred the white bits because the white bits are actually very, I repeat, very bitter. So you got to be careful. Just get the bright, citrusy, colorful part, and you are good to go. So we're just going to try to get all this zest, all this concentrate, the remaining amount of concentrate into the mixture here, and it should be good to go. I'm just going to add a pinch of salt to wrap it all up, and then we can go ahead and bake this bad boy. Alright, that will be it for our main ingredients. So I just gotta mix this all together. Get bright and flavorful and colorful. Let's not also forget, we should also add a pinch of salt to balance it out. However, what we must also add is, as soon as I finish mixing in the salt, we'll grab a sift over here, so that way we can sift in about a little bit of flour, which helps to thicken the custard. Because we want to minimize all these lumps that we have. We don't want too many lumps. Some ads that we get these days are pretty weird. So probably about like a tablespoon or a half or so of flour, if Twitch can bear with me. So we're gonna sift this flour in here. Trying to get all these little lumps in here and minimize that as best as possible. Otherwise, what's everybody else been up to lately besides lurking here? Have y'all been doing any other kind of cooking lately? I think this should be a good enough amount of sifting for now. Alright, now we're going to go ahead and continue to mix this. Otherwise, I believe our mixture is looking a little bit good. I'm probably going to add a little bit more of the, what is it? The buttermilk to make it a little bit smoother. Just a little bit more. So you don't want to make like some kind of dough. You want to make sure you're still maintaining like a liquid-like consistency for a little bit. After all, it is going to set and it's going to bake. Alright, I think this is what we're looking for. I think this is probably what we're looking for, so. Let's take out our pre-made crust over here. And now we got ourselves a lovely, nice looking tart and pastry, whatever you want to call this thing. However, we still gotta bake this, so I'm gonna sprinkle a tiny bit more nutmeg on top, but I'm also gonna make sure that we want to reduce any air bubbles possible, so lightly tapping that on the surface. Also make sure that pop these air bubbles out. And this is going to, if like OBS can bear with me, and this thing is going to bake for a good, probably like a good at least 40 to 45 minutes. We'll check on it if it's still not, it's supposed to like jiggle just in the middle, and we'll see how it turns out. So once it's like jiggling in the middle, we should be able to let it set and cool. We'll probably pop it in the freezer to let it cool faster. I think we should begin the next Stream Raiders battle in the meantime while I go ahead and get the next recipe ready. So let's head over to the battle scene and see how we're doing. Okay, so this next recipe we're doing is going to be slightly easier to take care of. It's going to be, I believe, air fried cheesecake pockets for the most part. Yeah. So we're gonna be. Hey, what's up, Drake? How you doing? You come in just in time for recipe numero deuces. The first one just popped in to bake, and we're just about to make the next one for today. We're just still gonna take a doozy to make. You're also gonna have to bear with me on the weird Monka-esque visuals at the moment because it's literally out of my control. It's one of those weird situations where the reception where I live, as well as Twitch, doesn't want to cooperate. And so, in addition, my camera refuses to focus sometimes. Yeah, but progress indeed. Also, we started to have a Stream Raiders thing going on. So if you want to go ahead and... Oh, we also have a new sound effect, too. That's right, my boy. We finally got Samurai Jack in the gift collection. How about that? Alright, so to this egg white, actually. So this is going to be actually part of the egg wash procedure that we're going to be doing for these differently approached... We're going to need a board, and also at the same time, we're going to need an egg wash, and we're going to need some eggs, actually, so... I've got some cream cheese that have been sitting at room temperature, which will be just fine and dandy. And then we're just going to... There's a little bit more egg whites in here, but that's okay. We're just going to be using this as kind of a component to mix in with the cheesecake filling, but also as an egg wash too. With the struggle whisk. Makes not much of a difference anyways. It's just a little bit more whites. Of course, you can't have a have an air fried pie without some shells, right? So we're gonna be like using this for now. People can make their own puff pastry, but it's just a pain in the butt. Store-bought's just fine, as Ina would say. Okay, so to this, we're gonna add in our room temp cream cheese. This is just some leftover spreado one that I got left over. If you have the blocks of cream cheese, even better. in doubt, just grab a second spatula. And honestly, like a cream cheese filling is pretty straightforward, anyways. Just mostly cream cheese and sugar. If you have a citrusy element, that works too. But if you want to like smooth it out, definitely add in an extra dairy component to it, which is what I'm going to be doing in a little bit. All right, so at least that makes use of my leftovers. I'm also going to add in a little bit of, we're actually going to try using confectioner's sugar because most cream cheese cheesecake filling recipes that I've seen use powdered sugar. It's my first time doing this, so... And of course, there's a major delay as I expect because, again, this reception thing is out of my control. On other days where I would be doing, like, a session in the kitchen, it really wouldn't be like this. I just don't know what's going on. Anyways. For now, I'm just going to add in a couple tablespoonfuls to see if that will suffice, which I hope it should. Oh, Curry placed a closed beta warrior on the battlefield. Pogs, thanks, Curry. It's almost good. Might need a little bit more sugar, but not too much. Of course, we're going to add in our doses of vanilla. I think what will definitely smooth this out is probably the dairy components. So we're gonna try to get this whisked about a little bit. So it looks pretty consistent like this so far. Always remember to taste as you go along. I think this is just... You do want to add the right amount of sugar, but just don't make it too sweet, otherwise it becomes very unbearable. But because we're also adding this filling in with some strawberries as well, it should be pretty balanced enough, I think. It's also at this portion where I'm going to be adding the eggs and the flour to the mixture to give them a little bit of body. So I can't be able to taste it like too much because eggs and flour are raw ingredients you don't want to like taste too much. I think this is sweet enough. Alright, let me go ahead and check on the tart real quick. It should be looking good. Okay, while that continues to bake off, let me see how our troops are doing on the battlefield. You know, I think we could go ahead and get this battle going. We should be pretty Gucci. Let's go ahead and start this battle while in the meantime.
Hi, how are you?
Hey, happy Pi Day to you too, Mailbox. How's it going? How are you doing? We're currently just about to get into wrapping up our, literally wrapping up, our second recipe for the day, which is going to be an air-fried cheesecake thingamajiggy. And a tiny bit of flour here. Having cuddle time with the kitty. Oh. Kitty feeling cuddly today? Also, pardon the visuals, Mailbox. The reception today is just not what it should be, so that's completely out of my control. Alright, there we go. Seems like the pie slash tart is poofing right now, which I will accept as a decent sign. Oh yeah, let me also add a little bit of salt to this so that we don't get it way too overly sweet. Also, we're putting some of the egg mixture in here just because. Kind of want to reminisce that, make it reminiscent of that. And then we'll put in a little bit of the egg mixture in here. probably a bit much, but what can you do? This is probably going to be a very, very loose cheesecake mixture. I'm hoping once things are heated up in the air fryer, it might retain some shape. It might heat up and cook through and whatnot. Overall, this is very smooth. It's bound to be. I would say it's gosh darn smooth in my eyes. It may not be entirely silky smooth, but it seems gosh darn smooth to me. All right, so let me set that aside. Probably like another 10 to 15 minutes or so, we can probably pop out the tart that is baking right now. So we got some puff pastries here. We're actually going to also grab some strawberry preserves, and then grab a little station for a little bit of dusting of cinnamon sugar. Mostly like 2 parts sugar, 1 part cinnamon, depending on who you ask. I'm not gonna be doing too much for now, considering we're probably not gonna go past like more than like 1 to 2 pastries anyway. So this should be fine. I'll actually add a little bit more, 'cause you never know. Yeah, this should be just about enough. If the camera's focused on it. How am I doing, by the way? Besides literally whatever's going on with OBS and Twitch and every other cooking mishap bothering me, I'm staying peachy. Guess we're doing one extra step. Because some pastry doughs just don't want to cooperate with you. So I guess we're rolling these out into 2 flat discs ourselves. I'm gonna give the tart another minute, and then we'll take it out because it seems like it's getting nice and toasty on the top. This is really hot right now, folks, and we're just going to let this sit for a bit, because it's got a really decent color on top too, even if like the camera doesn't show it's like having the nicest color, but what matters is the flavor profile, so. I guess this is how it's gonna be. So, I'm gonna be making 2 of these, I guess. And then... So we're gonna add the cheesecake filling into that, and into this we're gonna add some strawberry preserves. That should come together quite nicely, and then doesn't hurt to add a little bit of fresh berries. I have never made like stuffed anything before, so this is the first for me. So yeah, the recipes I'm working with today are mostly entirely experimental. Yeah, this first one is going to leak real badly, but it's a learning experience. Honestly, I have more faith in the buttermilk tart than honestly this thing. These things.
This is kind of a big deal. We're redefining refurbished, rebooting it, remixing it, remodeling it, and rethinking it. Introducing Certified Refurbished from eBay. Up to 50% off like new products, direct from the manufacturer. All the brands you want, at a price you'll love. Complete.
I don't know what it is.
Okay, thank you so much for the raid, VGA. I appreciate it. How was your stream? How's everything? How was Pokemon Go? I saw you all were streaming before. Sorry if I wasn't speaking earlier. I was just doing some troubleshooting on my end, some tech stuff, and I was just double checking some directions for some air frying and stuff. Because the next recipe we're doing, I'm just gonna air fry a couple of puppies up, but I trust the tart I made in the toaster oven than more so than whatever I'm about to be like air frying here. How's everybody doing, by the way? How's Pie Day for peeps right now for the raiders? Sorry, I have not received a thick raid in a long while, and I did not expect a thick raid on a day where it's all being so casual right now, and I'm just dealing with networking issues on my end and whatnot.
Hi, how are you?
Yo, Hotbox, how's it going, fam? What's good? What's poppin'? Apparently my tart is popping right now. It's not going to... Yeah, this one's failing. This one's absolutely failing. There's absolutely no fixing that. Trying to clean my Wii U earlier, but I don't have the right screwdriver. Oh my. Oh, hopefully you get the right one. Just like I need the right mindset to actually perfect this final creation of mine. Because this is literally kind of stressing me out right now. Also, happy Pi Day, by the way, Hotbox. Oh yeah, Hotbox, by the way, we have a Stream Raiders thing now open, so if you want to place a trooper and do exclamation point battle, we also have a new sound for that too. Okay, this one's just going to be done like an empanada style. I hope I filled it enough. And then we're going to finish dusting this with cinnamon and sugar. I'm probably not going to touch this recipe for a while. Then I'm gonna have this dusted in cinnamon sugar, and these are probably gonna burst open in the air fryer, but oh god. They're already prone to burst open anyways. Welp. I see you with the ginger cat hotbox. I see you with the ginger cat. Meanwhile, this is my more successful product today. This is apparently my take on a, I guess a buttermilk pie. I just made like a kind of a brown sugar buttermilk tart. And honestly, this looks very, very, very promising. I think we're gonna like freeze it so that way we could cool it a little bit faster. And then we should be able to be good with trying out a slice of this. Also, something else we low-key been working on is trying out ice cream, which is like a mixture of like half and half with condensed milk and leftover boba apparently. So it looks like a whole tub of like boba milk tea. Interestingly. You're back? No problem, Drac, no problem. Take your time. Otherwise, I hope everybody else is doing bright and toasty. A lot more toastier than I'll ever be. Juicer battle scrolls. Oh, did you place a thing? Did you place a thing in the battlefield hotbox? Alright, in the meantime, let's also go ahead and start... Let's see if we can start the next battle in the meantime. Let's see how our battlefield looks in Stream Raiders, folks. Alright. We may not have won the previous battle, but we are still gonna try our best to win the other one. Also, recipe number 2 ended up in a flop, but... this, we're gonna try to see if this has actually succeeded. I'd say it was pretty well baked. Where'd the hot sauce? Where is the hot sauce? That's a good question. That is a very good question. Tasted a little bit of the crust. I think the crust is okay. Now it's just a moment of truth of how the inside is. So... let's go ahead and cut ourselves a piece of the interior. Ooh, it's kind of like cutting into caramel, actually. And that's the cross-section of how it looks on the, as soon as I get my water bottle out of the way. This would be the cross-section of how it looks on the inside. Kind of like, you know, a pecan pie. I don't know if the camera wants to focus or not, but I'm gonna go ahead and give it a try, see how it is for you guys. I don't know, maybe brown sugar is the way to go. This is very delicate tasting. And the flavor profile is pretty unique too. It's not bad. It's a pretty lovely recipe. You got that nice crackling, the crackle on top with the brown sugar action and the molasses. And then you also got the nice sweet custard in the middle. Of course, you got that little bit to yourself over here. And the crust is like kind of like that of a shortbread. So if you like pecan pie, however you pronounce it, you're gonna like this. And if anybody wants to wonder how the heck my cheesecake things went, well, they pretty much exploded. That's all I'll say. Flavor's on point though. It just exploded. I couldn't even fold it correctly. Is this the Breaking Bad drug lab? That's actually a pretty good question, Hotbox. I wonder that myself. I would say, like, this tart right here, we've completely succeeded. Clearly I have to, like, work on working with pastry shells. I mean, puff pastry, yeah. But when it comes to, like, making my own crust dough, this is pretty poggers. I gotta say, this is absolutely pretty poggers. Definitely worth making. I will definitely make sure to write down a recipe for this, because even if it looks funny on top with like a little bit of color and whatnot, it's not bad. It's definitely not bad. It's pretty unique for sure. Hey, double check how my Twitch inspector's doing. Let's also check how the Stream Raider y'all are doing on Stream Raiders. Hey, yo, what's up, Tide? How you doing? You're not new here. I mean, you're new to, like, my cooking stuff, so... Good, about to run out for some errands, but saw Arrow Cooking had to stop by. Hey, dude, it's freaking Pie Day. Yo, MT, how you doing too? Hotbox, now eating ASMR stream. We're just chilling after the bacon and all that. Honestly, like this recipe, this is inspired by your typical classic buttermilk, the buttermilk pie. So I just made like a buttermilk custard inspired tart. And I like making tart shells as of lately. I've been really obsessed with like pre-making this shell and all that stuff. And there's like a lot of different fillings in it. And I'm actually surprised that it bakes pretty well with this custard filling. So I might like coin this recipe or something. And yo, thank you for the shout out, Hotbox.
Cowabunga.
Yeah, happy Pie Day to everybody coming in. I'm just right now eating like my messed up air fried cheesecake abomination. Because it's my abomination. The pie looks stunning visually, dude. I think honestly this will be pretty good with some ice cream and stuff. And you're welcome. I try my best. Man, don't let me stop you for some. Don't let me hold you from like getting your errands done, dude. But I appreciate you for stopping by too. Also, MT, we finally got the Stream Raiders thing going on too. Now, hold me, I'm just being lazy. Hey, I feel that. You're not the only one. Oh yeah, because it is daylight savings. It does feel too quick, like us losing an hour to sleep too. Oh, nice trying to join? Wait, did you join? So originally there's like going to be a there's going to supposedly like a one more like pie recipe I was thinking of doing, but I'm still trying to finalize the recipe for myself. So we're gonna save that for like another casual cooking day, whenever that would be. And then hopefully by then, I think it's going to take a little bit longer, and I think it should have a dedicated session to itself because it isn't. I think it is going to be an oven recipe. It is going to be using the stovetop, so we'll save that for another time. Overall, like, the cheesecake thing literally bombed, but this is a pretty good representation of Pie Day, so. And plus, I don't think the buttermilk custard pie gets represented enough amongst the pies besides, you know, cherry pie, pecan pie, lemon meringue, apple pie, all your other favorite pies out there. Maybe I could try lemon meringue one of these days, I don't know. But, I think before we go into intermission, let's go ahead and do some more Stream Raiders one more time. And then we'll go into intermission if things are looking a bit more stable, and I guess I'll just pop open some Stardew. So let's check out how we're all looking on Stream Raiders for the moment.